Hey everybody, my name is Quinn the GM. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a new Unearthed Arcana. I was quite surprised about it. Looking at the website, it seems like it was supposed to come out a couple days ago on the 23rd, but it did just come out today, which I believe is the 26th. Yep, 26th. And in this one, we've got subclass options, being one for the Barbarian, one for the Druid, and one for the Wizard, in addition to a bunch of new feats. I'm quite excited for both these options. They are focused around giants and their inherent magic. This seems like a great concept, and my favorite subclass from Tasha's was the Rune Knight Fighter, so I'm really excited to see what they end up doing for these classes. I think Barbarian especially seems like it would fit the giant motif quite well, and yeah, let's jump into it. If you enjoy this, I tend to do new coverage whenever new stuff comes out, so be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's jump in. So this is my first impressions. I'm just reading through this for the first time as I'm recording this, so this will be very off the cuff. We got the Barbarian Path of the Giant. Barbarians who walk the path of the giant draw strength from the primal forces that are the giants and their elemental ilk. Their rages surge with elemental power and cause these barbarians to grow in size, transforming them into avatars of primordial might. During their rage, a barbarian may take after a legendary storm giant, their hair turning white and eyes crackling with lightning. Others adopt the monstrous features of apocalyptic titans, rending the world around them so that it may be made anew. That is a really cool description. I love the idea of the rage being some super altered magical state. I think that's a great way to lean into the more magical elements of other barbarian subclasses. So getting into the features themselves. First third level feature is Giant Power. When you choose this pass, you learn to speak, read, and write Giant in one other language of your choice if you already know Giant. Additionally, you will learn either the Druidcraft or Thaumaturgy cantrip, your choice. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for this spell. This is a great little ribbon feature. It's always nice to have an additional language, and it's great to have an option for a cantrip on a non-spellcasting class. That can add a lot of fun little roleplay moments, especially with Druidcraft, which I really like. Giant's Havoc is the next third level feature. Your rages pull strength from the primal might of giants, transforming you into a hulking force of destruction. While raging, you gain the following benefits. Crushing Hurl. When you make a successful ranged attack with a thrown weapon using strength, you can add your rage damage bonus to your attack's damage roll. Giant Stature. Your reach increases by 5 feet, and if you're smaller than large, you become large, along with anything you're wearing. If there isn't enough room for you to become large, your size doesn't change. This is awesome. I love the addition of an ability that allows the Barbarian to throw weapons, as I've always felt that's something that the core class was lacking and should really include. So overall, that's a great feature, and I really like the idea of the range of a Barbarian increasing as they become large. That seems like a great way to adapt them into more of a fighter who is able to damage things at range as well as up close, which is good to have options for both, as barbarians can feel kind of pigeonholed into just the one. Elemental Cleaver is the 6th level feature. Your bond with the elemental might of giants and their ilk grows. I like the word ilk a lot. And you learn to infuse weapons with primordial energy. When you enter your rage, you can infuse one weapon of your choice that you're holding with one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, thunder, or lightning. While you wield the infused weapon during your rage, the weapon's damage type changes to the chosen type, and it deals an extra 1d6 damage of the chosen type when it hits, and it gains a thrown property. Range of 60 feet, or 20 feet, normal range, 60 feet, disadvantage range. When you throw the weapon, it reappears in your hand the instant it hits or misses a target. That's really cool. No need for ammunition or anything. The infused weapon's benefits are suppressed while a creature other than you wields it. While raging and holding the infused weapon, you can use a bonus action to change the infused weapon's current damage type. I really like this. It's cool that it's kind of balanced in that you can't give it to somebody else. It's just good if you do it. And I love that you're able to change the damage type if you find that one is resisted or is immune. Mighty Impel? I apologize. I haven't seen that word before. Is your 10th level Path of the Giant feature. Your connection to giant strength allows you to hurl both allies and enemies on the battlefield. As a bonus action while raging, you can choose one medium or smaller creature within your reach and move it to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of yourself. An unwilling creature must succeed on a strength saving throw. DC is 8 plus proficiency plus strength to avoid the effect. At the end of this movement, thrown creature isn't on a surface or liquid that can support it. The creature falls, taking damage as normal and landing prone. That is really cool. I love abilities that can move allies and enemies around the battlefield. That's why I like the Runecrafter Wizard, and it's really cool seeing somebody just throw people around the battlefield. That's a really cool feature. And Demergic Colossus is the final feature, the 14th level capstone to the Path of the Giant. The primordial power of your rage intensifies. When you rage, your reach now increases to 10 feet, and your size can increase to huge, and you now use your Mighty to move creatures that are large or smaller, which is great. Just buffs to all of your previous abilities, pretty much. In addition, the extra damage of your Elemental Cleaver feature increases to 2d6. Even more than I said, it's just buffs to all of these features. Overall, I think this is a really balanced subclass, especially for UI. I would probably allow this on my table in its current state, and I think it's really flavorful, and I think it overall just adds a really cool playstyle to the Barbarian, enhancing what it already does to a new degree. Man, there's a lot of reading in this. Okay, here we go. Druid, Circle of the Primeval. The Circle of the Primeval teaches that, though the land may change over time, it never truly forgets. By tapping into the time-worn memory of the earth, these druids summon and bond with the spirit of a primeval behemoth, a hulking creature that once ruled the ancient world alongside the giants. The most well-known primeval behemoths are dinosaurs. Oh my god, that's awesome. But spirits bonded with members of the Circle of Primeval have also taken the form of ancient predecessors to today's common beasts and other fantastical titanic creatures. Working alongside their companion spirit, most druids of the Circle of the Primeval spend their lives delving into the long-forgotten places and preserving the remnants of the bygone eras. As a druid's power grows, so does their companion, and the beast starting in a near equal size to a druid partner for increasing in stature until it towers over the land. I'm sorry for my brief interruption there, but Dinosaur Druid is just fantastic in concept. Keeper of Olds is the first second level Circle of the Primeval feature. Your connection to the mighty primeval behemoths allows you new insight into the ancient world. You gain proficiency in history, and when you make an intelligence history check, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the ability check. That is a really cool way to add flavor to the druid, and I think it really makes sense giving them bonuses to history if their companion is from the past itself. I'm going to kind of glaze over the primeval companion feature, as it is quite similar in mechanics to the Drake Warden. If you just want to look at that, the text is nearly exactly the same, and it is on the screen for you now. But essentially, it's just a beefed-up version of what was in the player's handbook. It allows for much more freedom of expression when using an animal companion. It allows you to pretty much use your bonus action to command it rather than having to take attacks or your whole action as certain older versions of the Ranger did. And it does seem a whole lot more well-balanced. The main thing that sticks out to me of this stat block for the Primeval Companion is its ability to intercept attacks of essentially creatures within 5 feet of it, which allows it to block damage for any ally, essentially, which I really, really like. I think it's a great flavor, and it really does a great job of separating it from the Drake Companion and the renewed normal Ranger Companions from the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything updates to the Ranger. Prehistoric Conduit is the 6th level Circle of the Primeval feature. You can learn how to channel your magic through the Primeval Companion whenever you cast a spell with a range other than self. The spell can originate from your Primeval Companion. In addition, if the Primeval Companion is affected by a spell that allows creatures to make a saving throw against its effects, the Primeval Companion has advantage on the saving throw. If the Primeval Companion would normally take half damage on a successful save against the spell, the companion instead takes no damage on a successful save and half damage on a failed save, which I really like. It gives the companion, I'm getting my terms mixed up, essentially evasion and magic resistance, which is quite powerful together. I really like that. And it allows it to have a very kind of tanky role in the party, especially in addition to the intercept attack option. So this way, it can both stand up to attacks normally and to AoE effects or spells. Titanic Bond is your 10th level Circle of the Primeval feature. The Primeval Companion grows to large size, and when you summon it, you can grant it either climbing speed or soaring speed equal to its walking speed. In turn, the Primeval Companion lends you some of its terrifying might. Once per turn, while your Primeval Companion is summoned, when you hit a creature with an attack or deal damage to a creature you can see with the spell you cast, you can force the creature to make a Wisdom save equal to your spell save DC. On a failure, the creature is frightened until the end of your next turn. That is a really cool feature. It's a little... I don't think it's very powerful at all, but I don't think it's overpowered either, and I think that's a good line to walk for Unearthed Arcana. Overall, I think it's a pretty good, solid feature. And then the final capstone, Scourge of the Ancients, 14th level Circle of the Primeval feature. You've learned to fully harness the Titanic legacy of your companion. As a part of the bonus action you use to command your companion, you can expend a spell slot of any level to heighten your Primeval Companion's might, granting it the following benefits. Hulking Behemoth, it becomes huge and gains temporary hit points equal to 10 times the the level of the spell slot expanded. Wow. If there isn't enough room for the companion to become huge, it attains the maximum possible size in the space available. Mauler. On a hit, the companion strike does additional damage equal to 1d8 plus the level of the spell slot expended. Titanic Stride. The companion's walking speed increases by number of feet equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot expended. Its benefits last for 1 hour. This is really cool and is a great way to give use to spell slots the rangers might not otherwise use in combat. Furthermore, the fact that it's not an actual spell allows you to still cast a spell on the same turn. Overall, both of these subclasses have been really well balanced, I think. I think they're not super powerful, as UA tends to be, and I think that I really like both of them. And I did not expect a dinosaur ranger, but I'm surprised I hadn't had that idea myself. I'm really excited to see how this ends up in a final form, and I really would love to use it myself. The final subclass we have here today is the Runecrafter Wizard, which is quite interesting. I think it's going to be fun to compare and contrast that to Matt Mercer's Runechild Sorcerer, as they're pretty similar name-wise, and I'm excited to see how they might have influenced or contrast from one another overall, in addition to hopefully being thematically similar to the Rune Knight Fighter, which, as I mentioned, is one of my favorite subclasses. Runecrafter Wizards enhance their spellcasting through the ancient power of runes. The tradition originated with the giant runecasters of old. Runecraft magic has expanded to encompass countless languages and practitioners across different worlds. For many runecrafters, the runes they wield are every bit as unique and personal as their spellbook. Some strive to honor the practice's origins among the giants, engraving their runes on decorative stones that adorn their spellcasting implements, while others messily scribble their runes on scraps of paper. First feature at second level, Runes of Understanding. Your study of runecraft has unlocked the ability to decode runes and languages, regardless of their origin. You always have the Comprehend Languages spell prepared, and you can cast it without expending a spell slot, and that spell doesn't account against the number of spells you have prepared. That's awesome. It just makes Comprehend Languages a cantrip for you, essentially, forever, which is quite unprecedented in terms of other really low-level features, especially for wizards. I like that a lot. Though it could be viewed as a little powerful, but that's a discussion I might have another day. Runic Empowerment. When you choose this subclass, you learn how to amplify your magic through the application of various runes. Your knowledge of these runes is stored in your spellbook, though you determine the rune's cosmetic appearance. This is second level as well, I forgot to mention. For example, your runes can be engraved into the cover of your spellbook, glowing whenever you cast a spell, or you could work the shape and meaning of the runes directly into a spell's somatic and verbal components. Whenever you cast a spell using a spell slot, you can invoke one of the following runes. There are 3 options. Life Rune. When you invoke it, a creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You can also choose yourself. Gain temporary hit points equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot expended. War Rune, which when you invoke, you can choose one creature within 30 feet of you. Until the end of your next turn, attack rolls the target. The chosen creature gain a bonus equal to half the level of the spell slot expended, rounded up, minimum of +1. In the Wind Rune, allows you to increase your speed, number of feet equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot expended, and your rune doesn't provoke opportunity attacks until the start of your next turn, which is really cool. You can invoke no more than 1 rune per spell. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your efficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. I really like this. I think it's a good number of options and a good number of uses. I don't think that's too powerful at all. Sigils of Warding is the 6th level Runecrafter feature. You can call on the Rune of Protection to guard yourself against threats. When you fail a Strength, Dexterity, or Con saving throw, you can use your reaction to expend one use of your Runic Empowerment and succeed on the saving throw instead. That is quite powerful, especially when considering concentration checks. That is a very, very powerful ability. I might think that should be reworked, but this is still just first impressions. Rune Maven is your 10th level feature. Your understanding of runecraft has grown immensely. Whenever you use your arcane recovery feature, you also regain a number of expended uses of the runic empowerment. The number you regain can be no more than half your intelligence modifier, rounded up. So this is a good kind of Riven feature overall. You can just bring it back on a short rest, which is nice. I think that really can help out, especially with Arcane Recovery already giving you some spell recovery. Engraved Enmity. Enmity is one of my favorite words, and it's part of the reason I love the Vengeance Paladin, but that is a tangent. 14th level Runecrafter feature. You've mastered the art of wielding your runes directly against your foes. As a bonus action, you can target one creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself. The creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be magically marked by an enmity rune. The enmity rune appears as a faintly glowing mode of energy that hovers over the marked creature that suffers the following effects. Runecraft's Bane. The creature has disadvantage on saving throws made against spells you cast. Unveiled Enemy. The radiance of a glowing rune makes the creature visible if it's invisible, and the creature can't become invisible while the rune persists. Wow, okay. These just... So it's on a wisdom save. Gotcha. So these are not automatic, but they're still quite powerful. Woeful Curse. Whenever you mark the creature and as a bonus action on subsequent turns for duration, you can invoke the Enmity rune to curse the creature until the start of your next turn. The next time one of your allies hits the cursed creature with an attack roll, creature also takes 1d8 force damage and the curse ends. The Enmity rune lasts for 1 minute until you lose concentration, as if you're concentrating on a spell. Once you've marked a creature in your way, you can't do this again until you've finished a long rest, or if you spend a 3rd level or higher spell slot to use the feature again. Overall, this is quite powerful, especially the fact that it allows you to cast essentially another spell as an action in addition to this, which is quite a lot to be able to do on a turn. Overall, I think this is far and away the most powerful of the subclasses. I think a couple of the features could definitely use a little bit of a nerf, but overall, I really like the creative elements that are going on here, and I think it's great overall. It's feat time, and this might be a bit of a lightning round, as this video is already pretty long. There are a variety of feats here listed in alphabetical order, and the most interesting thing is that they have prerequisites, a fair bit of them, which is something that 5e feats haven't really seen, at least in terms of level or prior feat requirements. And it's quite interesting in terms of seeing where the direction of the game might be headed for the next edition in, I think, 2024, they said. So, going through in order here. Elemental Touched is the first feat. You've been exposed to the primordial magic of the elemental planes, granting you a measure of control over the natural world around you. You learn either the Druid craft or thaumaturgy cantrip, similar to the Giant's Barbarian subclass above. You can choose the spellcasting ability. Whenever you finish a long rest, you choose which element you're tuned to, one of the following 4. You can use a bonus action to cause one of the following effects. Air, you can get a fly speed equal to your walking speed until the end of your turn. If you're airborne at the end of your turn, you fall. Earth gives you the ability to create difficult terrain around you for 1 minute or until you create the effect again. That's pretty cool. Fire allows you to surround yourself with ash and smoke, which allows you to not provoke opportunity attacks upon movement. And water allows you to create a forceful surge of water directed at a creature within 15 feet of you that you can see. It's a strength save, or they get pushed up to 10 feet away from you. You can create this effect a number of times equal to your efficiency bonus, and you can regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. That could be very good for classes that don't typically have a ton of bonus action uses, like a wizard would be my first thought. Ember of the Fire Giant is a prerequisite 8th level feat. That's pretty high. You've manifested the fiery combat emblematic of fire giants, granting you the following benefits. You have resistance to fire damage, and you get Searing Ignition. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can place one of your attacks with a magical burst of flame. Each creature of your choice within 15 feet of you must make a dexterity save. DC is based on your con modifier. On a failed save, they take 2d6 plus efficiency bonus in fire damage and are blinded until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the creature takes half so much damage and is not blinded. You can do that a number of times equal to your efficiency bonus, which is quite cool and could be good to give another option to martial classes, like a fighter or a barbarian type. Fury of the Frost Giant is a prerequisite 4th level feat. You've manifested the Icy Might emblematic of Frost Giants, granting you the following benefits. Born of Ice, giving you resistance of cold damage, and Frigid Vengeance. When a creature hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to retaliate with a burst of magical ire. The creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, also based on your constitution modifier, or be frightened of you until the start of its next turn. You can use its reaction a number of times to get a proficiency bonus. That's definitely less powerful, but it makes sense for a lower level feat. Guile of the Cloud Giant is another 8th level feat. You've manifested the Airy Speech and Magic emblematic of Cloud Giants, granting you the following benefits. Misty Form allows you to cast Blur without a spell slot or material components. You don't have to concentrate on it. That's quite good. That's really good. And when you cast a spell in this way, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest. You can still use spell slots, and you can choose the spellcasting ability modifier as has been normalized for all things post-Tasha's. Silver Tongue, you gain proficiency in either the Deception or Persuasion skill, and you get expertise in it as well. That's quite nice. I would really want to take that on a lot of characters. That's a really good feat. Moving on to the last page here, we have Keenness of the Stone Giant. It's another 4th level feat here. You've manifested the protection and spellcasting emblematic of Stone Giants, granting you the following benefits. Dreamer's Magic gives you Detect Magic and a 1st level spell of your choice that has to be from the Abjuration or Divination School of Magic. Normal spellcasting stuff for those, you can choose your modifier. Mountain Sight also gives you Dark Vision out to a range of 60 feet, and it also lets you expand Dark Vision from other sources. That's quite cool. We've never seen a feat that grants you Dark Vision before in 5th edition, and that's a new way to kind of pick that up. I'm a big fan of that. Outsized Might is another one. You've absorbed Primeval magic that allows you, despite your relatively small stature, to embody the might of titanic creatures. This grants you the following benefits. Little but mighty. You gain proficiency in either the athletics or acrobatics skill. Powerful build, you count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the amount you can push, drag, or lift. And stalwart, you advantage on saving throws against being moved or knocked prone. This is a smaller feat, seems like more ribbon features overall. Maybe it should be specified it should be smaller races, as that seems to be what the text is indicating, but who knows, it could be good for certain builds. Runecarver Apprentice, you've begun studying the art of runecraft, which allows you to temporarily mark your items and imbue them with magic. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can mark one non-magical weapon, armor, piece of clothing, or other object you can touch with the rune of your choice. You can temporarily learn a first-level spell based on the rune you choose, as specified in the rune spells table. That is really cool. You can just give yourself a free spell. And you can switch that out really easily. I really like that. There's a really good list of spells here, really one for every occasion. Goodberry is one of my favorite spells. I'm excited to see it on there. I'm not going to read all of those. We have a lot to go through, but wow, that's a really cool spell. While you're wearing or carrying the rune-marked objects, you can cast the chosen spell associated with the rune once without using a spell slot or material components, and you can also do it with any spell slots you have, and you can choose your modifier. Runecarver Adept, you need that previous feat and to be over 4th level. Your skill with the Art of Runecraft is increased. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can now mark a number of objects equal to your proficiency bonus. That's really cool, so you can give yourself up to 6th at 20th level, just 1st level spells from this list, which is awesome. Soul of the Storm Giant, 8th level prerequisite. You've manifested divination abilities and tempest magic, emblematic of storm giants, granting you the following benefits. Maelstrom Aura. As a bonus action, you surround yourself in an aura of magical wind and lightning that ascends 10 feet from you in every direction, and though not through total cover. The aura lasts for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. While the aura is active, attack rolls against you have disadvantage whenever a creature starts its turn within the sphere. You can force the creature's speed to be halved until the start of your next turn. That's really cool, and it seems like it'd be really good on a paladin who already has auras in effect. You also have Storm's Oracle. You can cast the divination spell as a ritual without needing material components. Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma is your spellcasting ability for this feature. That is really, really good. We've never seen a feat be able to give you a spell of 4th level before. That's quite powerful, and I see why they made that prerequisite 8th levels. That could be game-breaking at early levels, depending on how much information you want your players to have. And finally here, Vigor of the Hill Giant is our last feat, and the least type of giant as well. You've manifested the resilience emblematic of hill giants, granting you the following benefits. Bulwark. When you're subjected to an effect that would move you at least 5 feet or knock you prone, you can use your reaction to steady yourself. You're neither moved nor knocked prone. That's really cool. That's just a free reaction you can do as many times as you like. Hardy Health. When you're suggested to a spell that restores hit points, you can regain additional hit points equal to your Constitution modifier, a number of times equal to your efficiency bonus, and you can do that per long rest. Overall, all these feats are really cool, and I might do another video going over their balance. I think some of them are quite balanced, some might be a bit overtuned, but overall I really like them, and I really like this Unearthed Arcana as a whole. So that was the entirety of the Unearthed Arcana. What did you think? Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a good day. Thank you for watching.